The other thing I want to talk about is tea, because having said that a good gin is a balance of flavours that complement each other and work together, about 5-6 years ago, I was tasked to produce a new gin for Beefeater, which turned out as a Beefeater 24. And, okay, a new gin, wanted to do something different, hopefully not for the sake of being different, but just to see how you alter the balance of flavours by introducing a different element of flavour. And I decided to use tea because tea actually works well with gin. Forget the pun of G and T for a moment. This is tea leaf. I was actually in Japan, and in those days the tonic water didn't contain quinine. It was banned in foodstuffs. Quinine basically is a medicinal herbal drug, so it wasn't allowed in foodstuffs. So although my gin was fine, my tonic water was different without quinine, so my gin and tonic was different, so I'm not happy. So what else can I put in my gin? Gin, that great mixable drink. Maybe I wasn't quite in the mood for a Negroni at that particular second. Can't think why, but I wasn't. What was around me in terms of soft drinks? Soft drinks, tea, green tea, iced lemon tea, that kind of thing. So, okay, what happens if I put tea in my gin as an alternative to tonic? I could have used grapefruit juice or lots of other flavours. And it actually works very well. So I thought, why not use tea in distillation? What will happen? So I did a lot of research on teas, and I ended up using two teas. One is this a Japanese Sencha tea. Sencha is a process. What happens is when they pick the leaf, they put steam through it to prevent it from oxidizing, so it stays as green tea. And lots of teas in China and in Japan and Taiwan are made in that Sencha method. And what I was looking for was some flavor that was compatible with the other flavors in the gin. And I think what I learned from that exercise, by this time I'd been making gin for 40 years, but always somebody else's, the founder's recipe, as we're all tasked with doing on many brands. But the introduction of tea, and this is very important in the way that drinks work, what it did was not just to add tea as a flavour to the other botanicals that were there, but it actually changes the relationship between the other botanicals. So in that respect, 2 + 2 doesn't always make 4 when you're dealing with flavours. Any of you who are involved in making mixed drinks and cocktails will understand that that drop more lemon juice or sugar syrup will suddenly change the balance of the drink. And to keep it the same is a hard thing. We'd all make something different, but being consistently the same. Go into a bar and order the same drink 3 times from different bartenders, see if it comes out the same. That's the ultimate challenge. Great fun doing that. So it changes the relationship between the other botanicals in the way that all the other botanicals do as well. And the secret, the art, the skill, is to get something that's harmonious, that balances, that complement each other, and create something totally different from similar botanicals. There are lots of gins, from the 5 of us here, that use very, very similar botanicals in our recipes. But in addition to the botanicals, the way you make the gin has a big significance. And those little differences with similar botanicals can make an incredibly different style of gin. So complex and variable and useful to use. There's a tea garden, is that the word? The other tea that I use is a Chinese green tea. They both have different characteristics, and it's how they work together. It's introducing, if you like, a new member to the family. It changes that family relationship, and hopefully it's welcomed in. I talking to the wonderful Tony Canigliaro, who runs the Colebrook 69 bar and the Drink Factory. He explained to me why tea works. And it's because the molecular structure of tea is such, it's got big molecules, is such that it attaches very successfully to other flavours. That's why we see out in Covent Garden here, you'll see shops selling soap and cosmetics made with tea, and drinks made with tea, and hopefully some gin made with tea, cocktails made with tea. It's a very versatile product because its molecular structure makes it attractive and amenable to other flavours. Same will apply to any other botanical, but I just wanted to give those two as an example. So we're well on the way now. We've probably covered 5 or 6 botanicals to probably the next new gin. God help us. Thank you.